The first 4 games of this second round series have tested us far more than we were in our first round series. And after splitting on the road and then at home, we are now guaranteed to have a Game 6 at least. We are tied at 2 apiece with the Atlanta Hawks, and the winner of this pivotal Game 5 will take control and will only have to win 1 more game to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Welcome to episode 46 of the Chicago Bulls franchise on NBA 2K. And today we'll be going with the same lineup we did in Game 4. Andrej Lorbeck makes his second postseason start. Up until last game, he was coming off the bench, as I did prefer the defense of Ausar Thompson in my playoff starting lineup. But he's been so good, he's given me no choice. He had 20 points and 10 assists in Game 3, which earned him the starting job, and then he puts up 15 and 13 in the Game 4 start. So now we're rocking with Lorbeck and Thompson starting together in the backcourt, and with Jet Howard also struggling, I figured this was the perfect time to make the move. We're back in the black uniforms as we begin Game 5 with the ball. And immediately Luis Kuzma with the delivery to a cutting Andrej Lorbeck. And now Ausar Thompson doing what he does best, getting in the passing lanes and getting the steal. Shaedon Sharpe taking it to Harrison Barnes. And we lead 4-zip. 1 minute in. Here's Onyeka Okongwu out to Trae Young, letting it fly from the wing. First points for Atlanta. DeJounte Murray will take another and hit it. Hawks lead. Here's Murray again, and Thompson hounding him. Another steal, and he puts it up there for Clingan, but he couldn't handle it. Thankfully, it goes back to Thompson. Now Lorbeck lowering his shoulder into Young and can't finish. Lorbeck has abused Trae Young on defense all series long. That's a big reason why he's got the start, but he's also been an incredible playmaker, that time dishing it off to Luis Kuzma. We get away with an open 3 missed by Barnes. And now Kuzma hitting Sharpe on the break, spinning and slamming it, but he's going to be called for the charge. We're going to challenge this call. I mean, you would think if he's spinning, then he would avoid the defender, right? But I guess he started the spin a little bit too late. He did make contact with Saddiq Bey, whose feet were set, and the call stands. Harrison Barnes, another open look, and he converts. 9-6 Atlanta. Shaedon off the screen, hitting the long 2. Sharpe is cooled off since his first round heater, but he is still managing to score 20 points on a consistent basis. And we've still been a competitive team even without him scoring 40, 50 points. Clingan with the little drop step move for 2. Okongwu will spot up from about 8 feet out and hit the shot. This series has been very physical up to this point, and even Trae Young is doing the dirty work. He gets a block on the jump shot. How often do you see Trae Young get blocks? Here's Saddiq Bey crossing over and missing the 3, hauled in by Okongwu, and he slams it for a second chance bucket. Luke Kennard coming off the bench and immediately draining a 3. Under 4 to go in the first quarter. Here's Kobe Buffkin, floater down the lane, high arcing, and it's good. Sharpe will come off a triple down screen, wide open. Kuzma gets the rebound. Kennard tries again and hits it. 2 quick triples for the regular season 3-point percentage champion. And Kwame Evans lays it in. 19-16 Atlanta. Kuzma posting up Okongwu. The ease at which he scores inside against some of the better paint defenders in the league is so encouraging in just year 1 for Kuzma. Another bucket for Okongwu and another for Lorbeck. That time he abuses Dash Billar, who's even worse at defense than Trae Young. He gets the first step on him and gets the assist to Sharpe. Maybe this is the game that Sharpe gets back on track. 7 points in the first quarter. Billar no good. And dashing down the floor, Lorbeck. like a wide receiver catching a touchdown pass from Luke Kennard. We continue to have trouble stopping Onyeka Okongwu, and it's tied going into quarter number 2. Thompson, two-man game with Donovan Clingan. Punches it. Bulls lead. Murray draws the help and out to Young for 3. Too easy. Why are we helping off of him? I wish I could figure out how to stop that from happening. And we get called for another charge. Ausar Thompson has his layup waved off. And answering is Kwame Evans right after taking the charge. He hits a 3. 33-27 Atlanta. And Gordon has been hot from deep this postseason, but he misses a wide open gimme there. And there's Murray knocking down another. Thompson driving to the left, and the pro hop. The layup hangs on the back of the rim and falls off. 9-point lead for Atlanta, make that 12. Young making it rain. Thompson out to Sharpe. No good. Thompson gets the rebound and puts it right back up and earns a trip to the free throw line. His first points of the night. Evans pulls another and misses. Bulls in transition. Howard open. Got it. Jet Howard has started most of the games in these playoffs, but he moves to the bench and now looks to get out of his shooting slump. That is a risky but successful pass to Ausar Thompson on the break. Another full court touchdown just out of the reach of Trae Young. I have no idea how that pass got through. But the lead down to 5. No good from Murray. And we have a chance to shrink it even further. Thompson inside to Clingan. He misses the dunk. Looked a little out of control there. And now Alexandros Samodorov. His name is misspelled in the roster. I apologize if you're watching this, Alexandros. But he finds DeJounte Murray in the corner for 3. Another corner 3 missed by Barnes. Howard leaking in transition. And another charge. DeJounte Murray sacrificing his body this time. And the Hawks seem to have figured something out as Clingan blocks Samodorov's jump shot. And it leads to the layup for Luis Kuzma. 6-point difference. Here's Saddiq Bey at the free throw line. Finds Samodorov inside. He gets the bucket. Now Shaedon Sharpe buries the triple. Neither team has been able to build really any commanding lead in this series. It's been pretty close the entire way. Dash Ballard knocks down the jumper and then dishes it to Samodorov down low. Atlanta back up to a 9-point lead. Here's Lorbeck driving baseline and met by Samodorov. Lorbeck hits 1 free throw. Shot clock now running down for us, and Sharpe bails us out with the little sidestep jumper. He's got 12 points. Ballard trying to fire it inside to Buffkin. It's deflected and stolen. Sharpe, Kennard, corner 3. Got it! Third 3 of the game for Kennard. And a minute remaining in the half. Lorbeck, a steal. Takes Ballard's lunch money. Sharpe, no. And the battle for the rebound won by Evans. Bey at the rim, too strong. And Lorbeck wants a screen. Going baseline. Got to step on his man. Now finds Kennard outside. Bulls looking for the best shot possible. They have a chance to tie. Sharpe will isolate. He will go to his right and finish through contact. We get the 2. We're down by 1. And Saddiq Bey, right before the first half buzzer, gives his team a 4-point lead heading into the locker rooms. I expected nothing less from these two teams. Another half of tightly contested playoff basketball with fitting levels of intensity. They know what's at stake in this rubber match Game 5. We have started to take more three-pointers as a team, and despite Shaedon Sharpe not being at his absolute best, we are managing to shoot respectably with 6 threes in the half. Atlanta, on the other hand, is running the Mike D'Antoni offense, already attempting 29. But with the increased three-point diet has come less trips to the free throw line. I would like to see more than 4 attempts in the second half. Overall, it's been a solid half with good contributions from Sharpe, Kennard, Lorbeck, Kuzma, and Thompson. But it's not going to be enough. We will need to step it up in the second half if we want to win this game. DeJounte Murray and Onyeka Okongwu have been leading the charge for Atlanta. Only 9 for Trae Young, and that's his lowest scoring half that I have allowed in actual played game time. He has not made a single shot from inside the arc. We have 2 other Game 5s going on around the league. First off, the Magic win, taking the series lead over Miami. And James Harden, who hasn't had his best series so far, had a major redemption here with 24 and 10, as well as 22, 8 and 7 from Paolo. They can now clinch with a Game 6 win. The other Game 5 is San Antonio beating Houston, and that means they advance in 5 games to the Western Conference Finals to face Memphis. And I've talked a lot about the struggles of Anthony Edwards. He's been very quiet in this playoff run, but he showed up in a big way. 7 of 8 from 3, 33 points. This is the man they traded for in the preseason. And they're going to need him to play at this level for their rematch with the Grizzlies, a very tough team. But both Eastern Conference final teams have yet to be determined, and this game will go a long way toward determining one of them. Who will pull away in half number 2, or will it go down to the wire? Shaedon Sharpe makes it a 1-point game. And now trying to answer and succeeding is Saddiq Bey. Maybe the offenses will open up a little bit more in this second half. Nice pass from Thompson to Clingan. Clingan has really mastered floor spacing from the dunker spot. He just cuts at the perfect time. And again we leave Trae Young butt naked open. Come on. 57-52. There is Clingan getting to the free throw line. Let's start doing that a little bit more. Trae guarded by Lorbeck. That's a mismatch. Anytime Ausar gets switched off of him, Young's going to take advantage. He's already got 14. Thompson to Kuzma. Kuzma backing down his man. He falls over and Kuzma dishes it off to Clingan. Another timely cut by Clingan for the dump off, and now Lorbeck just snatches the inbound pass out of the air. And they get another possession. Down by 3. Thompson on Young. Thompson spins baseline. And too strong, but it doesn't matter as Clingan cleans it up. Thompson guarding Trae. He looks for the lob. It's blocked away by Clingan, but it goes right back to the Hawks. And Bey not able to convert. Now a chance to take the lead. Kuzma. Head of steam to the rim. That looked a little LeBron-like, as Trae Young continues to be abused on the defensive end. Highlight and 1 for Luis Kuzma, but then he gets a 3 in his grill from Bey. This Hawks team is not afraid to shoot contested threes. Fling into the corner for Sharpe. Got it! 20 points for Shaedon Sharpe. Still 20 minutes to go in this ball game. He could be in for another huge scoring output. And Luis Kuzma comes flying in for the putback. That kid plays with such a great motor. And he gives us a 4-point lead. Barnes, Lorbeck comes flying by him. And he gets the easy floater. 66-64, Lorbeck working in the middle. Backing down Young. And 1. Kwame Evans came to help. And it didn't matter. Young is off the mark. And Lorbeck is aggressive down the floor. Hitting Kuzma in stride. What a beautiful play. That's why we brought him into the starting lineup. Plays like that. Murray shakes Kuzma out of the way with a pump fake and hits the short jumper. Murray attacks again, hits Evans. Catch and shoot, and he's got it. Still locked in a tight game 5. Lorbeck fires it down the court to Kuzma, who double clutches it over his defender. He's not all power, he's got finesse too, and he has 15 points. Trae Young picks up his 4th foul now, sending Sharpe to the free throw line. He hits both, and his free throw shooting woes seem to be behind him. And now Sharpe picks up his 4th foul. Kwame Evans to the line, but he misses both. Sharpe is now going to have to take a seat, though, but that's okay when Luke Kennard is shooting like this. 12 points. And Dash Billar with his own triple. He's been inconsistent this series, but he just keeps on shooting. Jet Howard, not able to make the layup, gets it back, though, and puts it in. Another player who's been inconsistent in this series, only his 5th point off the bench. Offensive rebound, Kwame Evans, and the putback. Now he runs the pick and roll with Okongwu, who's blocked from behind by Clingan. How many times have we seen that this series? As Lorbeck dwarfs Dash Billar in the restricted area. Billar laces another 3. Back down to 5. Here's Howard, foot inside the line, and now he hits it. Maybe he just needs to stop shooting 3s and shoot mid-ranges. Gordon with the block on Okongwu. Okongwu's had a hard time inside this game. Here's Clingan, speeding past Okongwu, meeting Evans vertically, and he will hit a pair of free throws. We end the 3rd quarter on a mini run that is ended by Dash Billar. 7-point lead, though, heading into quarter number 4. Winner takes the series lead. And we have a little bit of breathing room. Evans, no good. Here's Sharpe. He's back in the game for the 4th. Finds Howard. Good in transition. Maybe Howard is finally turning on the jet engines after a shaky series. Okongwu continuing to attack Clingan, but he misses 2 of 2 free throws now. The lead remains in double digits. Thompson in the corner fakes out Young, drives inside, and reverses it home. He made that look a lot easier than it is. This team is a highlight factory. Evans, though, gets it back to single digits with the 3. Under 10 minutes to go. Here's Luke Kennard, Clingan running the Princeton offense. Oh my, what a pass and what a finish. Thompson and Clingan on the same page. And Clingan showing off the passing chops. And he can finish pretty well himself. That time they connect in the opposite order. And now Thompson draws a moving screen on Saddiq Bey. The lead is opening up, 14 now. Young takes it to the rack on Thompson. Atlanta only shooting 42% from the field up to this point. Howard, good in the face of Bey. There's the Jet Howard that we so badly needed in the Sixers series, and Bey answers. We've got some cushion, though, to work with. 12-point lead under 7 minutes to go. Lorbeck is back in the game, and he connects with Donovan Clingan. Headed toward a 20-point double-double. He's got 18 as Murray knocks down the mid-range pull-up. Murray left wide open here. Can't connect, and tipped back in by Onyeka. 100-90. Lorbeck to Sharpe on the flare. Yes! 25 for Sharpe. His highest scoring output since game 1. Andrej to Ausar. Hits the 3. You know things are going well when Thompson has it going from range. Okongwu dunks off his own miss. 4 minutes now. Shaedon, double-teamed, hits Kennard. 3. Yes! 15 for Kennard. All on three-pointers. Murray with the dump off to Okongwu. He's fouled by Clingan. Number 4 on Donovan. And he hits 1 of 2. Clingan with another swat. This time on Trae Young. But it goes back to the offense. Young with a long 2. Lorbeck on the smaller Young. Aggressive to the rack. And 1. What a series it's been for Andrej Lorbeck and the lead has ballooned to 18 with under a minute to go. We come up huge in the fourth quarter. Everything clicked. Offensively, defensively. Lorbeck back for more. And this is going to be an 18-point victory, outscoring the Hawks 33-22 in the fourth quarter. And we win a crucial Game 5 to take control of the series. Defense has been the deciding factor in a lot of these games, but this is the first time where it felt like we were able to crack a very tough Hawks defense and just dominate down the stretch. We were relentless in attacking Trae Young with mismatches on the defensive end. That's their main weakness that they can't really cover up. And when they put in Dash Bilal for him, it was even worse. On top of that, Okongwu probably had his worst game of the series. He did have 16 and 17, but he wasn't as efficient from the field as he usually is, and he didn't get any blocks. We were able to score over him quite easily this game. The Hawks had 6 players in double figures. Pretty impressive, right? Well, we had 7. And that's exactly what I like to see, especially after the game where Sharpe had 72 and no one else could help him out. It's comforting to know that this team is capable of playing as a team in high-pressure games like this. And this is our best shooting performance, efficiency-wise, maybe of the entire playoffs. 14 threes on 38% efficiency, nearly 90% from the free throw line as well. And this mostly came from a red-hot second half where we outscored Atlanta 71-49 and shot nearly 60-40-90. Forget 50-40-90. And as it stands, we are now 1 win away from getting the furthest we've ever gotten in the franchise. We made it to the Eastern Conference semis in Season 1, losing in 6 games to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are out of the playoff picture. They lost in 7 to Orlando. And remember, the Magic were the team that we beat in the first round back in Season 1. They are also 1 win away from an Eastern Conference Finals berth. A rematch there would be very, very interesting. Of course, the Miami Heat are not eliminated quite yet, and that's a team we haven't really seen much of in this franchise, at least through played games. They are a team that honestly is pretty similar to ours. They're very young, very balanced, very athletic. They chose to blow up their roster just like we did, trading Jimmy Butler after Season 1 and then trading Bam Adebayo as well eventually. But you know how things go with Pat Riley. A Heat rebuild never lasts very long, and after just a few years, they're right back where they were, contending for championships. So the Heat and Magic are set for a Game 6. They tip off before our game does, so we will get to see our potential conference final opponent before we take the floor. Oh my goodness. I just spent so much time talking up the Miami Heat just for them to get smacked in Game 6. They were outscored 72-23 in the second and third quarters combined, losing by 50 points total. And they were competitive in the first and fourth quarters. It was just those 2 quarters that supplied almost the entire scoring difference in the game. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, James Harden, Lamont Appeling. Those 4 absolutely put their foot down. And it looks like James Harden might have been the missing piece for this team, believe it or not. We gave them Drew Holiday for a year. That didn't work out. I'm not even sure they made the playoffs. And they just shipped him off to Los Angeles after a year. Now they've got Harden, and Harden has given them that extra bit of scoring and playmaking ability that they have needed desperately. He comes through in this Game 6. Magic move on, and they will face either us or Atlanta. Before we move to Game 6, I have changed the rotation to go 8 deep. Aaron Gordon was scoreless last game, and with Kuzma playing well and with Howard having a little bit of a bounce back last game, Dalen Terry's still there as well. I think we can fill that role pretty comfortably. So for the most important game of our season, we're going to be playing our starters more, and shrinking our bench. And this will be a simcast game for the first half. I will definitely be jumping in pretty early on. I'm not going to simulate all the way to the fourth quarter. But, again, I'm giving the computer a little bit of a chance to even things out. But here we go in Game 6. We take a lead in the first, 31-17, and we end the first quarter up 16. Ausar Thompson has it going with 9 points, 5 rebounds, and pretty much everybody doing it on both ends. Our lead widens in the second quarter, 72-47 at halftime. I did not see this coming. 4 players in double figures already, and only 1 player for Atlanta. Pure domination. And we're going to jump in here and play out the rest of this game. I was not expecting a 25-point cushion, though. Hawks start with the ball. Trey pick and roll to Okongwu. That has been one of the harder pick and roll duos for us to defend. Andrej Lorbeck with the pirouette, and he lays it in. He had 14 in the first half, 16 now. And now he's attacking DeJounte Murray, hits him with the pump fake, and finishes, floating it over 2 Hawks. 76-51, Thompson hounding Young and getting the rebound. Lorbeck dialed in right now. He wants to find his shot, and he does. 20 points for the sophomore from Slovenia. And he's looking for more. Floater over Murray. It looks like he's just in an empty gym right now. He gets the steal. Doing it on both ends. Sharpe down the lane. It hasn't even been a big day for Sharpe. He's only had 7 points. But the entire rest of the team has picked up for him. Clingan with the beautiful finish. Lorbeck off the Sharpe screen. And can't get it that time. 22-7. He's got it again. Crosses over on Okongwu. Finds Sharpe open. And he ruins the highlight. I still love you, Sharpe, but that would have been real nice. Sharpe 2 of 10 as Okongwu runs the floor. Thompson on Young, just shoving him out of the way. Legally, of course. 13 points, already 10 rebounds for Ausar. We leave Young wide open, but he's going to have to do a lot more of that if he wants to come back. Thompson, off-balance finish. 15 points for Ausar. Barnes has to pick up his dribble, finds Saddiq Bey for the high-arcing 3. 5:42 to go in the third. Thompson into the paint, out to Lorbeck. Now Lorbeck will drive. The drop step move. Oh my, and 1! It's too easy for him right now. Okongwu bit on that pump fake hard. And now Okongwu blocked by Clingan. And Atlanta is not making a lot of progress. 3:30 to go in the third. Trey does hit the free throw line jumper. Now a 23-point game. Lorbeck not letting up. Drives right into Trey Young. And little resistance as he finishes for his 27th points. Lorbeck has taken over this third quarter with his scoring. Now he gets a rebound off his own miss. And he is staring right into the eyes of Trey Young. Calls for a screen and can't finish over Bey. Lorbeck's doing a little bit of ball hogging right now, but he has earned it. Kuzma deflects the pass. Off to the races. Good in the foul. The lead is 26. Thompson, Sharpe, 3. 99-70. And we got the ball for one last shot in the third. Thompson attacks the rim, hits it! The avalanche continues. Everything is going our way. Saddiq Bey will hoist it up at the end of the third, no good. And we take a 28-point lead heading into the fourth quarter of Game 6. 12 minutes away from an Eastern Conference Finals berth. And their defense is just dejected right now. Luke Kennard gets a wide open layup. Reese Freeman makes what feels like his first basket of the entire series. He played like 35 minutes back in game 3 and missed all of his field goals. And we still have our starters in, up by 30 in the fourth quarter. Thompson making life hell for Dash Billar. Freeman will try again, can't hit this. Rebound Kennard. And what a pass from Kennard. He's an underrated outlet passer. And it sets up a Jet Howard reverse slam. Thompson, Sharpe, backdoor for 2. It just won't stop. Kobe Buffkin, oh my goodness, that was a dirty crossover on Lorbeck. Had him looking the other way. Too bad no one on his bench can really celebrate that, as their season looks like it's about to end. Lorbeck to Howard, cutting to the rim, and finishing over Buffkin. And I'm leaving the starters in as long as they want to play. Thompson a steal, the lob to Clingan. We are playing loose and free. This looks like a team who knows how good they are. Thompson, another steal, takes it himself. 36-point lead. Dash Billar just trying to quiet this crowd. Thompson dribbles it into Harrison Barnes' knee. Alexandro Samodorov chased down. Donovan Clingan does it again. Thompson turns a corner. Oh my goodness. Are we looking at the best team in the Eastern Conference? I think we might be. They've played like it. Shaedon hop steps and scores. 27. Thompson keeps swiping it away. Thompson to the rim. 26 for Thompson. A near triple-double. Clingan, another block. And Trae Young hits a huge 3 to cut the lead to 37. Is this the dagger? Sharpe off the nice feed from Lorbeck. We might win by 40, even 50. Trae Young, Samodorov misses the wide open jumper. Young manages to get the offensive board, and he misses. He'll get another chance. Buffkin stepped out of bounds. This Hawks team is falling apart. Hard to believe this is the team that won the championship last year. Here's another dunk for Sharpe. Although I'm being a little bit disingenuous, they do have 3 players missing, including Bam Adebayo. That's a nice pass from Lorbeck to Thompson. Lorbeck steps back. No. Howard on the boards. 18 for Jet. And no mercy for the Hall of Fame CPU. We've still got our starters in, and they're dominating. Sharpe posterizes Young. Just 2 minutes to go. It is all Chicago. Lorbeck rumbling to the rim, 29-12. Maybe the best game of his young career. And the Bulls just flexing. We don't care about sportsmanship. I didn't get to play in the first half, so I'm gonna play with my starters. Thank you very much. Thompson! And that gives him a 31-point triple-double. And the chase down. Beating his chest. We have shown the defending champs who the boss is. They beat us in our house once. We weren't going to let it happen again. Lorbeck has 31 and 13 and give him 14 assists. Jet Howard with the beautiful reverse finger roll. A foul on the floor with 30 seconds to go, and now the starters will get their standing O. In comes Icot Lucas, Manny Camper, Bronco Todorovic, Dalen Terry, and Mace Gadzarich. Bronco hasn't really seen the court this entire playoff run. Lucas off the side of the backboard. And we are 2 points away from a $150. So Motorov scores. Bronco Todorovic can dribble it out. But why not? Todorovic! 150 to 108. You can fight us in the tunnel afterwards. We don't care. The Chicago Bulls are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's only the second time in 29 years that the Bulls have accomplished this. Life after Michael Jordan has been bleak, but the days of mediocrity are over. We don't have to talk about the fact that we went 42-40 and barely made the playoffs. I think we've seen enough of this team in the playoffs to know that they are serious. And they have their sights on banner number 7. It's almost impossible to pick a player of the game tonight. Ausar Thompson does get it with the 31-point triple-double. It has been awe-inspiring to see the leaps he's taken on offense in just a few short games. And his defensive assignments haven't gotten any easier. He's still guarding the best player on the opposing team more often than not. But this was his signature game. And you could say the same for Andrej Lorbeck, who had a good first half and then just ascended to another level in the second. 17 points, 7 assists, just an end-to-end masterclass for our starting 2 guards. I think we found our starting backcourt going forward. It's hard to believe he was just coming off the bench a few games ago. I always knew he was a special player, and I just wanted to use him as a secret weapon off the bench, but he just kept on proving that he was too good for that role. And I'm sorry, Jet Howard, you played well today, 21 points in 27 minutes, but you're not going to be starting over Andrej Lorbeck. Trae Young and Saddiq Bey were both very good in the second half, but no one else really helped them out. Kwame Evans nowhere to be found. Okongwu had under 10 points, 3 turnovers. Dash Bilal 5 points, 4 turnovers. It's common knowledge that role players play much better at home than they do on the road, and that held true today. Their role players didn't show up, ours did. We finished the game 60 for 100 from the field. And I did not even realize this while I was playing, but we scored 48 in the fourth quarter, 20 for 25 from the field, and we only attempted 3 3-pointers, making 1 of them. So there it is. The conference finals matchups are set. Chicago, the 8 seed, who really started as the 9 seed in the play-in tournament, is one of the last 4 teams standing. And our opponents could also be classified as a Cinderella. The 6-seeded Orlando Magic beat the Cavs in 7 and the Heat in 6. And this is the roster we're going to have to deal with in the conference finals. They have 3 players rated over 84 overall and no one else above a 76. I will say Appling and Hartenstein do play above their overall ratings, but this is still a team that lacks depth. It's pretty much just Harden, Wagner, Banchero, and Appling carrying the entire offensive load. And one of those 4, Paolo Banchero, is playing through a hyperextended shoulder. Now, he has still been very, very good this postseason, but his inside scoring takes a hit. So does his shooting. But this is actually not the first time we faced Paolo Banchero at less than 100%. He also played through an injury last time we faced the Magic in the first round of Season 1. We ended up winning that series in 6 games. We won the first 3, lost the next 2, and then closed them out. The other major injury is to backup guard Anthony Black. He's out with a dislocated patella, not coming back this season. But James Harden, now in his second year with the Orlando Magic, might be having the best playoff run of his career. 19 points per game, 10 assists per game on great efficiency, and he is outplaying his regular season stats where he only averaged 16 and 8.5. Of course, he's no longer the player he was in Houston. That is far removed, but at 37 years old, he is still a problem. Franz Wagner, though, has made the leap from 20 point per game scorer to one of the best scorers in the entire NBA. 25.8 on great efficiency, and he has not lost a step in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Paolo has looked as good as he ever has despite the injury. He's averaging 24, 7.5, 5.8, and people used to get laughed at for comparing him to LeBron, but this run is very reminiscent of a young LeBron. He has the same kind of shot selection. He doesn't necessarily play at full speed all the time, just like LeBron did, but he has the ability to pass and play point forward at 6'10" and has a very powerful 250-pound frame that allows him to finish very efficiently, and he's done that in this playoff run. And he's also shot well from outside. That's something he's struggled with at times in his career. He's had multiple seasons under 30%, but everything has come together at age 24. It looks like his only weakness really is free throws, which is also very LeBron-like. And lastly, their fourth option is not to be slept on. Lamont Appling, a sophomore out of Georgia, one of the best college scorers in the country, fell all the way to number 26 in the draft, which was very, very surprising for me, especially since I was considering taking him at pick number 8. Appling has been a very solid player so far in his career. He scored 16 a game on 51% from the field, 30 from 3. He's definitely more of an interior scorer. Also struggles with his free throws. Only shot 59% in his rookie year and shooting 68% in this playoff run. 1.2 steals per game as well in the playoffs. He has the tools to be a good defender. He was much more offensively slanted in college, but since joining the league, he has really balanced out his game nicely. He doesn't have to take all the shots anymore, so he really focuses a lot of his attention on the defensive end, and he is a quality guard stopper. So that is our next opponent, the Orlando Magic. Over in the West, it's San Antonio and Memphis. This is the third straight year that these two teams have met in the conference finals. Memphis has actually made it 4 years straight, but they have only made the finals one time, and that was in season 1. They got swept by the Celtics, but in the following years, they've still managed to make the conference finals every time, but have lost to the Spurs now 2 straight times. They're looking to change things this year, even though the Spurs have the scariest roster they've had since drafting Wemby. The Alien is now joined by a great backcourt in Anthony Edwards and Kyrie Irving. They haven't had the best postseason, but they can always turn it on. And not to mention some other great talent like Zachary Rizachet, Keldon Johnson, Malik Roll, Zach Edey, and now Jaden McDaniels, as we traded McDaniels to the Spurs for the number 2 pick, which we used to select Luis Kuzma. So that is the stage for the final 2 rounds of the NBA playoffs in 2027. And the action just continues to heat up in this Bulls franchise. I've been having just as much fun with these videos as I did when I first started this nearly 2 years ago. And I'm finally at a stage in my life where I can start putting these videos out a lot more consistently, and my channel, I think, has benefited from that. I appreciate all the support I continue to get on these videos. I know the view count has decreased over time. That is understandable, but every once in a while I get great comments that let me know that there are still people who watch these videos. You guys mean a lot to me, and I can't wait to keep bringing you guys more of this franchise. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, please. When I was going back and editing this video, I honestly was really disappointed that I simcasted the first half of Game 6. I mean, that is a game that should be played all the way through. Potentially the climax of the entire series, our first chance to go to a conference finals, and I'm glad we did, no doubt. And that second half was tons and tons of fun. But admittedly, it feels a bit cheap that I already had a 25-point lead when I hopped into the game. That just felt wrong. The rest of the games were extremely challenging, and I ended up losing 2 of them. But the simcast just really helped us out in Game 6. I guess it's comforting to know that I really have built a good team that does perform well in simcast against other good teams. But hopefully the simcast doesn't really take away from the experience too much going forward. I already explained why I chose to start doing it, and I still think it made sense, but this was just one of the unfortunate byproducts. But that's going to do it for another successful playoff series here in Year 4 of the Bulls franchise. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like what you see, I'd really appreciate if you left a comment, left a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on to stay updated, and recommended me to a friend. I will see you in the next one when we begin the Eastern Conference Finals against the Orlando Magic. And until then, have a great rest of your day.